Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick.
And my name is Chris. And Nick, what do we got in store today?
Today, Chris, we have some big news that's hit and rocked the crypto space, if you will, depending on who you believe to, right? Wherever you turn to get your news. But we're talking about XRP, Ripple, and lawsuits, Chris.
Lawsuits. Is this news or is this noise?
This is more noise than news, and we'll get into what's going on here. So, guys, if you find it useful and informative, do go ahead and smash that like button. If you're new here, do subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all the videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, Chris, let's jump on over to the article, go through it, and then let's dig into some nonsense and noise. It's all comical. Right.
Yeah.
XRP price plunges as Ripple says company will be sued by SEC. Right. So here's the plunging. I thought I'd just bring this up. We are still higher than we were on the 16th of December. Just put that out there. But yes, it plunges. It's plunging, Chris. Plunging.
Yeah,
so ultimately, Ripple says it's going to be sued by the SEC, but no lawsuit has actually been filed as of yet. So let's see what's going on, right? So the price of XRP is down 16% after Ripple's CEO Brad Garlinghouse said the company will be sued by the US Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC. The payments startup, which owns more than half of the total supply of XRP, is gearing up to fight accusations that the company has illegally sold the digital asset as an unregistered security. At least that's according to the Wall Street Journal there. So Garlinghouse calls the move an attack on the entire industry, and I totally agree with that. It really is. And it's just, I want to use that term, Chris. It's a bad actor. It's a bad actor. Let's take a look, right? So today the SEC voted to attack crypto. Chairman J. in his final act is picking winners and trying to limit US innovation in the crypto industry, and limiting it to just Bitcoin and Ethereum, only two cryptocurrencies that Mr. J. Clayton here wants to see succeed. So I imagine he has Bitcoin and Ethereum in that scenario. So we know that crypto and blockchain technologies aren't going anywhere. Ripple has and will continue to use XRP because it is the best digital asset for payments, speed, cost, and scalability, and energy efficient. It's traded on 200 plus exchanges globally and will continue to thrive. And on that note, Chris, it's well worth pointing out this is just the US and their SEC. Over here in the UK, we're open. We've already come out and said, it's not a security. It's a currency. It's perfectly fine. It's a digital asset. And some of our our EU partners across the way here also feel exactly the same. XRP is not a security. But of course, Mr. J. Clayton here, he definitely wants it to be a security, and he wants to kind of control it and basically, keep it all to Bitcoin and Ethereum. My opinion, but let's carry on, right? So Ripple placed the majority of its XRP holdings in escrow back in 2017. Yes, we know this. Has routinely sold portions of its holdings to institutional investors on the crypto exchanges. Now, the other thing to bear in mind here is, yes, it's in escrow. They're allowed to sell 1 billion XRP per month. And if you look at their Q3 report for 2020, they had 3 billion taken out of escrow, but guess how much they paid back? 2.83 billion XRP. So they're using it responsibly. They're not just dumping it onto the market, as many do believe. It's not quite like that. It's also used. It also uses the digital asset, this is Ripple, to power one of its remittance platforms, which is called on-demand liquidity, which is ODL, right? And Ripple, who is facing a class action lawsuit on the status of XRP, has long argued that the cryptocurrency is not a security. And I think a lot of the other countries around the world agree. Just the US and a bit of nonsense over there. Noise, as you say, Chris. So the company says XRP exists independently of Ripple and cannot be a security because investors in the digital asset are not shareholders of Ripple in any way. And I think it's pretty obvious. Anyone who has XRP knows they are not a shareholder of Ripple, right? And if we just take a look at this, Chris, this came out in June 17th. of 2020, right? Ripple is not a security, says the former CFTC chairman, right? So straight away we're able to see why they're saying it's not a security, right? So XRP is not a security according to Chris over here, right? It's a former chairman of the Commodities Future Trading Commission, the FTCT, CFTC, yeah.
Yeah, and one thing to add on that, what is a security? A security is a negotiable financial instrument that represents some type of value, value or financial value, should I say, usually in the form of a stock, a bond, or an option. The money market is the trade in short-term debt, as an example, right? And that isn't what XRP is.
I mean, anyone with a brain cell can tell that it's not. So ultimately, right, it doesn't take two brain cells to rub those things together to come up to that answer. So that came out obviously in June, and here we are, like 6 months later, and apparently, according to 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗧, they're being sued or will be sued because they haven't been sued yet. Let's just bear that in mind. So what we got here, right? So here's the tweets from. I like the photo as well. It's got the shades on. So today the SEC voted to attack crypto, as we just spoke about, and it goes into these 3 tweets, right? So the last one here that I haven't read out yet is the SEC out of step with G20 countries and the rest of the US government, should not be able to cherry pick what innovation looks like, especially when their decisions directly benefits China. With no mistake, we are ready to fight and win. The battle is just beginning. And it's going to be an interesting one. I mean, who in their right mind, Jay Clayton, who's leaving, right, is going to be stepping down. Someone else is going to be coming in, take over, tries to pick a fight now. It's just absolutely nonsense, right? You don't do that as a leader of any kind of entity or organization. You do not leave a whole a pile of steaming, Chris, on someone's desk before you leave. It's absolutely nonsense. And the other thing I just wanted to kind of point out, Chris, was we found this came out today as well, right? So Germany passes a new law to allow digital securities on the blockchain. I just thought the timing on the article was priceless on that one, I have to say. And the other thing, Chris, is it was only yesterday, right? Yesterday that we saw there were liquidity problems, right? There was articles talking about how the liquidity index for XRP had gone into negative, right? Which has to represent 0 or near 0. Basically, no one was selling their XRP, right? It was basically they were holding it because they could see what was happening in the technical data, and the analysis was showing that it was going to be massive, right? So no one was selling it. The liquidity went down close to 0. And then all of a sudden, 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗧 comes out and says they're about to be sued. And what happens to the price? Well, everyone starts selling it off. Now, I don't know, that's just the connection between those two things. Could be completely innocent. But I imagine there's a lot of liquidity now. Do you know what I mean? Right, so...
One other thing to add as well, which really confuses me, and I know the XRP, is different to Ripple, and this is part of the reason why it's not a security, to be quite frank, but SEC, so they've announced that they're going to put a node on the XRP ledger. So it all just seems like really confusing to me. Like, this is, for me, this is just all about politics.
Exactly.
Somebody's leaving office and they're just making it very difficult for the person taking over, and that's shameful, in my opinion.
Like I said, bad actor, Chris.
Bad actor.
That's all it is. We'll watch this space closely, guys. I've brought up the chart here for one reason, was we already know that this is something that we were talking about yesterday before this news even broke. We could potentially come down and test the 44 cents, right? We're at 47 cents. I think our low for today has been 45 cents. So we didn't even get that low. Whether or not that's going to actually have an impact on this thing, because this whole lawsuit could last years anyway, and I don't think people are going to miss out on the opportunity of 2021 just because some bad actor is trying to sue Ripple over something. So I reckon we might test the 44. And if so, I think there's going to be a lot of buying orders being fulfilled at that point. Could you
Yeah,
imagine, right? So
yeah,
yeah, I'm still confident on XRP. I find the whole thing a bit comical because, we're just talking the US, guys. It's just the US and the world is a lot bigger. So there's a whole host of people who have come out, governments around the world, the G20, that believe that XRP is not a security. And, I think ultimately the US will just have to fall in line because ultimately it's just another way to try to control the narrative, as Brian is kind of saying.
yeah, and if we do, go back full circle here, right, and just look back at some of the things that we've been talking about over the last few weeks, because I think this is the start of our 11th week,
It
isn't
is
it?
our 11th week on YouTube.
Or is it 12? I can't remember. I think it might be
Oh,
12. Might be 12. But anyway, we haven't been talking on YouTube for long, but in that time we have covered the fact that they've the money or the dollars that are in circulation, 30%, so a third, have been printed in the last 10 months. Yeah, the US is heavily in debt. So we're either going into the worst recession that we've ever seen in history, or there's going to be some sort of reset, and we're going to be going digital, right? And when I say digital, I mean blockchain, because it's going to alleviate that problem. So I don't think the US have really got a choice, alongside many other countries, right? They're also in tremendous amounts of debt. And
if we put our political hat on, Chris, and you're leading the US, for example, and you're everything's kind of dollar backed, right? So the dollar is king. Could you want to hold on to that power, keep the dollar as the king? You're going to try to pull out all the stops to prevent the digital aspect, come into fruition unless you can control it, right? From
yeah,
a global standpoint, but.
and I get that, but you just can't. Like, it's just not possible. As
No,
I,
absolutely.
I don't even think it's an opinion. I just don't think it's possible. I'm bordering line like saying fact. It just can't. And the only country that it's going to hurt is going to be the US,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
it isn't stopping the likes of Germany,
No, or any of the
the
Europe.
UK, Europe yet. It certainly isn't stopping China.
No.
Um,
It's
you know,
just absolute nonsense. And we call it noise, Chris, don't you?
we call it noise, and we've kind of been saying that we expect it to be up and down. We're expecting volatility, swings of 30 to 50%. We said that we're going to see a bit of turbulence. Nothing's changed. It really hasn't. If anything, I'm more bullish now on XRP than I have been in a long time. I really am. And this is not financial advice. None of it is. But I do kind of feel like the noise that's coming out here does need to be sort of silenced, because it's just beyond belief. And
Yeah.
we didn't record last night. We were like, we'll wait until the morning and see if there's any news. Great call, Nick.
Yeah, well, yeah. Absolutely right.
Definitely.
So, guys, if you did find this useful and informative, or just downright entertaining, do go ahead and smash that like button for Chris. He really appreciates it. And if you are new to the channel, do go ahead and subscribe. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all the videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And with that said, we hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Yeah, take care.